Yo, what is going on everyone? It's me, Mr. Premps, and we've had another week of no One Piece, and fortunately enough for myself, I have managed to avoid any spoilers, so reading this chapter was actually quite refreshing as I had no clue and no idea as to what was going to happen. And I'm really glad because that panel of Zoro and Sanji at the end was absolutely beautiful, and it's something that I really enjoyed reading in this chapter. But before I get started, if you're watching this video and like anything I've had to say, do make sure you leave a like on the video and make sure you subscribe to the channel as I try to bring you all One Piece chapter reviews on a weekly basis. But without wasting any more time, let's get into this chapter. And the chapter actually begins with Oda explaining the state of the battlefield, which I'm presuming will all be done by a voiceover in the anime. But we're reminded that the Samurai Pirate Alliance started off with about 5,400 in numbers, against the 30,000 of that of the Beast Pirates. However, they have taken a significant loss, as the Flying Six members have now all been defeated. And personally, I thought this was quite interesting over the last few weeks, because we were seeing each of the Straw Hats effectively getting their own chapters. And personally, I wasn't so sure if this was going to be the end of the Flying Six members, but it's pretty much confirmed right here as we have the panel of them laying down, defeated, and it includes Sasaki, who was defeated by Frankie, Who's Who was defeated by Jinbei, and we also saw so beautifully last chapter, Black Maria, who was defeated by Robin. And apologies if I'm dwelling on this part of the chapter for a bit too long, but I think this is extremely impressive, particularly with what it's saying for the Straw Hat Pirates. Because Sasaki, we know, was the captain of a very capable New World pirate crew, and he's been defeated by Frankie. So what does that mean for Frankie? I've personally always rated Frankie, but this is showing that he could technically be a captain of his own pirate crew too. Or what about Who's Who we know was part of CP9 before joining the Beast Pirates? There's no way any scrub could just join CP9, and then to be part of the Flying Six? That's tremendously impressive for me, and to be honest, I think Jinbei is amazing anyways, and he's truly experienced, but to make such short work of Who's Who is definitely an incredible feat. And lastly, Nico Robin, someone who we've been crying to see a fight for, and she has just elevated herself again to comfortably take on a Flying Six member and defeat them. I think it is impressive from all three of these Straw Hats, particularly if we do recall that the Flying Six are able to challenge the commanders for a place to be an all-star. But moving on in the chapter, we find out that Onigashima is only 15 minutes away from reaching and landing in the Flower Capital. And we see Luffy filled up with food raring to go. And even though it's not touched on in the chapter, I've been thinking, why doesn't Luffy just go into Gear 4 and fly up to Onigashima himself, rather than relying on Momonosuke? But I digress. We then pan away to the Battle of the Ninja and we see Raizo fighting against Fukurokuju. And this is actually a really good fight. And within this battle, Raizo is expressing his anger that Fukurokuju would serve Orochi. Yet Fukurokuju explains that the Oniwa Banshu must always serve the current Shogun. And I personally understand where both of these characters are coming from. Raizo is going with his heart, and he's going with what is right, and he's understanding that Oden was the true Shogun and that their loyalty should lay with him. Yet Fukurokuju is loyal to the job. With the Oniwa Banshu serving the current Shogun, it is his job to serve Orochi. And to be honest, it feels like Fukurokuju is winning this fight, as Raizo is too emotional, and Fukurokuju tells Raizo that he was never suited to be a ninja anyways, due to always wearing his heart on his sleeve. And if you're going by my own translation, he's just basically saying that Raizo is too emotional. But we don't actually get to see a conclusion to this fight, but we do get the dialogue from Raizo explaining what they are fighting for, as we see panels of all the Scabbards in their battles, and Raizo explains that even if it kills them, they won't rest until they've seen things through by ending Orochi and Kaido's reign, and there being a new dawn with Momonosuke as Shogun. But we'll see how things pan out, but hopefully Raizo can bring this back. We then go on to seeing something that I've been waiting to see, and it's the fight between Killer and Hawkins. And it's very evident that Killer has had the upper hand in this fight, as Killer is asking how many more shields do you have left, as most of us know that Hawkins uses straw puppets to take his damage. But the tide of that battle changes very quickly, and we learn that the current puppet that Hawkins is using is a little bit too close to home for Killer, as Oda pans away to luring Kid's battle with Big Mom, and Kid is receiving damage whilst just standing there. And all is revealed to Killer because now he's in a predicament. If he takes out Hawkins, he'd be killing his own captain. And if I'm honest, I don't know what Killer can do here. He clearly has had the upper hand, but to kill his own captain in order to defeat Hawkins just doesn't feel like a good price to pay. And I don't know how he can turn this around. Many people have said that they think Killer will die here, and that's definitely a possibility. The only other thing that could happen is if Hawkins did switch sides, which I actually expected him to do ages ago, but who knows. But now we get the juicy stuff, because Oda takes us to the live floor and we see Queen and King working together, wreaking havoc, effectively taking out all of the Beast pirates that switched on them. And we even get a panel of Marco pretty much defeated, as they all acknowledge he was at his limit. And I mean, taking both King and Queen on for all this time, I was upset to see him down, but I completely understand it too. It's definitely a lot of work. I think it's worth giving Sanji a good mention here too, because we do see him knocked down as well, and he says fighting both of them together is rough. So was Sanji fighting both King and Queen together too? I think that's kind of impressive. But Sanji does go on to ask Chopper and Miyagi whether the treatment is working on Zoro, and they explain that it's taken longer than they expected due to just how messed up Zoro's body is. So Sanji takes the initiative and decides to go and fight, as we see him kicking Queen. King, however, acknowledges that they're trying to heal Zoro and that could be an issue, and therefore makes finishing him off a priority. But in the background, how can we forget that Perospero was about, and he's got an agenda against Sanji, talking about him not marrying Puddin, and that if Sanji had, they wouldn't have had to ally up with the Beast Pirates. And seriously, Perospero seems to have a few problems with a lot of people, because I thought he was coming for Marco, but now he's taking out his anger on Sanji, and he goes to shoot him with one of his candy arrows, when all of a sudden you hear, "That's him, boss." And out of nowhere, Nekomamushi attacks Perospero, telling him that he's here to avenge Pedro. And this is a matchup I'm definitely interested in seeing, because I'm not sure that Perospero wants any of that smoke from Nekomamushi. But we do pan away again, back to the juicy stuff, and as King tracks down Zoro, and with King about to finish him off, we get an attack, Immortal Thistle, Andon Divine Flame, and Marco is there to save the day. And with Queen still in shock that Marco is alive, he talks about King's race and heard of a certain fire conjuring race that lived on top of the Red Line. And I think this is one for theorists, and one that they can take a look at and try to understand his true origin. But Marco explains he's done his job in this battle, and that the stars are about to take the stage, because clearly he's bought enough time, as Zoro breaks free from his bandages, and we get the most amazing panel I've seen in a long time of Zoro and Sanji together attacking King and Queen, as we see a 3-sword style purgatory attack from Zoro and a Diable Jambe mutton attack from Sanji. And Zoro and Sanji discuss that if they win this, Luffy becoming the king of the pirates will definitely be in sight. And that brings the chapter to an end. And I'm not gonna lie, this ending was so hype. The 2 wings of the future Pirate King in action, and I just can't wait to see any more. I had always said that this was going to be a 2-on-2 fight, and that's what we're about to get here. And I can't wait to see more. And as a bonus, there's no break next week, so that's a plus. And even though I expect Oda to move away from this battle, I'm just so ready for the next chapter. But let me know all of your thoughts. What was your favourite part of this chapter? And what are you guys and girls looking forward to next? And as usual, if you like anything I've had to say, please make sure you leave a like on the video. And if you like weekly One Piece reviews, then make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss out when I drop more reviews just like this. Say.